Hey YouTube, just a quick post. I wanted to get a couple things off my chest. I've had a couple of statements directed at me over the course of the last couple of months and even years. I just wanted to touch base on some of them and how I feel about that. There's a growing disdain for being American amongst my generation, and makes me a little bit upset. So I just wanted to touch on a few things. One is, as some of you know that know me, I spent some time in the United States Marine Corps. And as such, I find it strange that I come back and have people who've never been in the situations that I've been in or the places that I've been feeling that it's okay for them to judge me. They obviously know me very well, or so they think. So therefore they know everything about me and the way I act and exactly what I'm thinking. Yet out the other side of their mouth, they say tolerance and acceptance, and you can't possibly know what's going on in their lives, so, we couldn't possibly know them, which I've never claimed to do. With that, I find it interesting, for lack of a better word, to state that they should dictate what happens in my life. I've recently known several individuals who have stated that they are perfectly fine with things like a centralized federal government controlling and dictating everything that happens in our life, be it from how healthcare is provided to how small businesses should run, to how I can build my home, where I can build my home, what I'm allowed to teach my children, what beliefs I'm allowed to have. And they're fine with all of that unless it infringes on any of their beliefs. I mean, they're fine with banning it as long as it's oppressing my beliefs, but they're against it if it oppresses their beliefs. So to those people, I want them to sit back and think hard. Do they want the Constitution of the United States to be the backbone of the laws in this country? Or do they not? Because you can't pick and choose. It's one document, one living document that evolves. And yes, I mean, if there's amendments, if the states ratify that we should do away with the First Amendment and do so through legally due process, that will change the Constitution. But until that happens, you will have the freedom of speech. Until the states ratify that the federal government is not allowed to forcibly house troops in your house. Sorry, until the states ratify that the federal government cannot house troops in your house. That's a law. It's part of the Constitution that dictates law that protects your rights as citizens. So I guess my challenge to you is stop speaking out of two sides of your mouth. Either come out and honestly say that you want a government that controls and dictates every moment of everyone's life so long as they agree with you. And they say that. But stop this BS of, oh, well, obviously they're right, because of all these facts that agree with me. And maybe think twice about, all this hypocritical bullshit that you throw out, because I'm sick of being told that it's not okay to go into a crime-laden area and profile, but it's okay to, immediately distrust someone because of the way they talk. I mean, I've known individuals who go, I would never trust a doctor with a southern accent. It's not that I'm judgmental against them, it just makes me uncomfortable, so that's my right. Well, guess what? If I'm in SeaTac and someone of any race is following me around in the parking lot late at night wearing a dark hoodie, following me everywhere, yeah, that's my right to feel distrustful. So what if he turns out to be a black person or a white person or whatever? It's my right to be distrustful. That kind of brings me into my next point of what is paranoia? I conceal carry. I do. As often as I legally am capable because I am a law-abiding citizen. And I will gladly lay down my life to protect you or anyone else because that's what I believe is necessary to do. Now, most people who are against concealed carry, not all, but most, that I have met, know nothing about firearms, know nothing about concealed carry, know nothing about self-defense tactics, and walk through life being blissfully ignorant of everything that is happening around them. So the fact that I take a little bit of an extra effort to pay attention to what's going around me makes me paranoid. But yet at the same time, you encourage, young women on a college campus to pay attention to what street they're walking down. Don't walk down a dark street by yourself. Try to walk home with a friend if you're coming back from a party. Yet they never label that self-defense. They call that common sense. So where is the line drawn between self-defense and common sense? Because to me, they're the exact same thing. I carry a gun to defend myself, but I will do everything in my power, as will most concealed carriers that I personally know. We will do everything in our power to make sure that we do not have to use it. Because when it comes down to it, I want to come home at the end of the day. So does everyone else. And if someone is going to threaten my life, I will do everything in my power to escape that situation. The difference is because I'm trained and I've taken the time to learn how to do things correctly and to truly understand self-defense. I know where lethal force is necessary and where it's not. So how is it that you, with zero training and your open-minded willingness to intake information telling you that you should purposely not learn anything about this, means that you have the right to dictate how I am allowed to defend myself? You don't.